year one, as you as the GM, Ryan, what's your assessment of the whole?
Yeah, I mean, they're disappointed from last night, obviously, but I think the culture shift here has been absolutely fantastic. What Buck and the rest of his staff has brought, players bought in right away. We went from a training camp where I think some of the players thought it was a very hard training camp to last week asking for more reps in the cold and the rain outside. And so those kind of culture shifts are absolutely huge. Give Buck and his staff full credit, but also the progress that our players made throughout the course of the season when we were, I think, 2-5 at one point, ending the season on a tremendous hot streak and hosting the game and then taking Sass toe-to-toe last night. So you're never happy when you don't win the Grey Cup, but at the same time, the progress that's been made here has been absolutely awesome.
This was a step forward, but there's more work to be done. Where you see the priorities being for this offseason? Yeah,
I mean, the roster is never finished, right? And so I'm going to keep it in-house for how we're reviewing that. We're going to go through the process right now of going through all of our reviews with the coaches and the players and doing our exit interviews. But as a whole, again, just the culture shift, taking that next step, winning one more game than we did last year and being competitive in that game last night. So couldn't be more proud of the players and the coaches.
Every year in the CFL, there's a lot of pending free agents that have to be dealt with. I think none bigger on your team than Keon Hatcher.
Sure.
He's come at a little bit of a lower price tag the last few years because of the injury. That's not going to be the case after leading the league in receiving.
Sure.
How do you get that deal done with what you're already paying guys like Rourke, McInnes, and Betts?
Yeah, this is the salary cap world we're living in. Keon's played absolutely magnificently. He's earned a bigger paycheck. We are happy to have him. He's a tremendous player. His leadership this year from what it was in years past has been just absolutely awesome. So we're going to go through all that. We're going to prioritize the guys that we need to bring back and guys that we'll talk to. But I'll say this. Keon, I think, is the best receiver in the league. Absolutely love the guy. Love what he brings downstairs in the locker room as well. And we'll do everything we can to get him.
Have you had any of those conversations yet, or are those still to come?
Not yet. So we're not in the best cap shape of right now. We're not going to be over the cap. I can promise you that. But at the same time, when these deals are done, bonuses for a player like this gets pretty sizable. And so we've had starting conversations, but we didn't want to get too far into it before we know where we were at.
And your boss, Amar Doman, has made his feelings known on social media that he didn't think that winning touchdown last night was a catch. What did you feel about that play?
I just saw it about 30 minutes ago. I mean, it's obvious it's not a catch. I think that's all I should probably say about that.
Yeah. How frustrating is that?
Terribly frustrating. I mean, you've got guys that are fighting the whole season to lose a game on something that may have not been a catch. And so, listen, hats off to Sask, their staff, their players. They've had a tremendous year, but nobody wants to lose a game that way. You don't want to lose a game, period, but especially that way. And so I just saw the photo of it maybe 30 minutes ago, so I'm just trying to digest it as well. But to me, it did not look like a catch.
What has the owner meant to this group?
Everything. Amar gives us the tools to succeed. And so, to lose a game, you're unhappy for everybody. But after everything Amar has given us, it's just, you feel gutted. You just feel gutted. And so, for all of our fans here, for the province, for your owner, you want to win that game. And to have it go down that way is not good.
How strange with FIFA next year will things be?
Yeah, it's going to be different. It seems like we haven't had a normal year in a while. And so we're going to have to be road dogs. But I tell you again, the culture shift and what Buck has brought, I think it's just going to be the next thing that we rally behind. It's going to be the next challenge. And so the good news is there's going to be fans that maybe haven't seen a game in a while, and they're going to be able to do it in other locations. So we're going to keep battling. Nobody's going to feel sorry for us, and we're going to keep moving forward.
What are you happiest about with this year?
Just again, culture, the progress. You guys heard me harp on it many, many times of mental and physical toughness. I think we did that. I think the offensive line's ascension has been absolutely awesome. So the work that Sharps has done with that group and Christian Matt has been absolutely awesome. So to finish the season, first in sacks allowed, I think first in rushing average. We in many of the stat categories that matter, we finished first in. But the defense, I was so impressed with them mid-season, how they turned that around. There were many times where games were slipping away from us, and then it became a strength down the stretch. So happy for these guys, happy for the coaches, happy for the growth in the building.
Speaking of growth, what about Nathan? It feels like he's
Tremendous.
taking a step forward as a leader and
Yeah.
face the franchise.
Yeah, I think we all know who he is as a player, right? And you saw it again last night. His leadership, even in camp, you could just see the steps being taken. And so you watch the players respond to him. I love when he gets into the end zone. He used to be pretty quiet. He gets in there and he's saying some colorful things and rallying the guys. I think he's the best player in the league. His leadership has got to that level as well. The players rally around him. So couldn't be happier with him and just so fortunate he's a BC Lion.
He was very vocal about the rules changes.
Yeah.
You guys were okay with that?
Yeah, again, we want our players to have a voice, and so if that's his opinion, I'm happy that he's got a platform. He could offer his opinions, and at the same time, other people disagree with that, and that's fine. So he's earned the right to say what he thinks.
And building off your thoughts on Nathan, how nice is it to see your roster so well represented in the All-Star teams and the CFL award balloting?
Yeah, it's awesome. I would think every one of those guys are such pros. They would say it's an individual achievement, but something that couldn't be done without the guys next to them. And so I'm happy for them because that means they're performing. If they're performing, we're performing. And so incredibly happy for them. They've all earned it. And again, it's just some more to build off of.
And if you look back on the season as a whole, is there a low-key turning point that maybe has gone under the radar that sort of shifted the momentum? I
don't know about low-key. I think there's several things. So I think as the players got more comfortable in the offense, I think that you could see that ascension the whole way. About the mid-season point, we were able to acquire some players. You bring in a couple of rookies, and then you bring in TJ Lee. That leadership was kind of the turning point there in the secondary as well. I don't know if it was low-key because it was being discussed, and rightly so. So those players helped turn things around. But, the role players too, they did everything they possibly could. So what I'm maybe most happy about is this roster right now is built to win. And again, with the culture shift that we've had, I feel like we've all taken the next step together.
You mentioned TJ Lee there. Obviously, he tried to go with a little bit of a youth movement in the secondary. Had to bring him back. Gary Peters is also 34, likely. Was playing hurt for much of this year. What does the future look like for those two guys?
Yeah, we'll see. Again, we're going to go through the whole process, and believe me, I'm not trying to kick the can down the road, but we do a series of reviews, coaches from the coaching side and then from the personnel side as well. We'll go through that. TJ's, just speaking specifically on him, his ability to help with communication and leadership on the back end was absolutely tremendous. So we felt like coming out of camp, we felt like Robert Carter was going to be a guy, and he has been. And so absolutely happy for that. We were hoping for another couple guys, and it didn't happen. And so, sometimes you have to lean on the vets like a GP. And so as these guys start getting older, yeah, you start to question some things, and that's only natural. Father Time's undefeated, and so we'll have those talks. But there's times where all these guys played at a high level, and there's times where they didn't. And so we'll have to go through that review process.
The interior of the offensive line, because of your ratio situation, you were able to go with Americans, sometimes multiple Americans there this year. That's not necessarily sustainable in the long term. What's your plan to address that position?
Yeah, I mean, you looked at SAS last night and they played 4 Americans up front. So I disagree. I do think you can sustain that. In a perfect world, I think most teams, end up usually dressing 3 Canadians up front. We want to put together the best team possible. So I don't care if it's global, Canadian, American, it doesn't matter. We're going to put the best guys on the field that we possibly can. We're going to look at the draft, and we're going to look at free agency and in every area that we could possibly improve, and we're going to do that. But we always go into training camp with a plan, but also several backups, because as you saw this last year, we had 4 Canadian guards go down in training camp. And so sometimes your plan is the right one, but life has a way of altering those plans. And so we're going to have a flexible, plan A, B, and C moving forward, and we'll see where it goes.
Anu Una was a guy you spent a first-round pick on a couple of years ago. Got a lot of starts this year. Was a little bit up and down.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about his progress and what you see as the future for him?
Yeah, just a big, strong kid. He was up and down just like everybody on our team was this year, but his potential is through the roof. And so the ability for him to get more live reps, more games started this year was absolutely huge. If I'm being honest, we should have done it the year before, and we tried to. And so, that experience for the Canadian offensive lineman is absolutely huge. They need those reps to get better. And so, again, going through the review process, we'll take a look at it. But on the surface, very, very proud of what he did.